I stretch every day because I can, but this hasn't always been the case. So the only reason I can stretch every single day is because I've found a way to make it so easy that it's basically impossible not to do it. Until I found out about stretching this way, I was like probably many of you, struggling to figure out what the hell to do and unable to find a practice that suited me. So before we talk about how to stretch every single day, we should talk about why you should stretch every single day. And I'm not going to go into too much detail in this video, but there's so many good resources out there, and I'm just going to post one link in the description which actually inspired me to film this video, and it's called Why I Stretch Every Day.
As it turns out, if we don't move, we in some ways lose our ability to. Why? One word: fascia.
And in that video, they go into some really in-depth detail on the science behind fascia and why it's actually so important to stretch every single day. But knowing why it's important is one thing, but knowing how to do it is the most important thing. So there are two main things that simplified my stretching routine so much that I was able to do it every single day without fail. The first thing is finding the specific stretches that your body needs. Because everybody has different bodies, so everybody needs to be stretched in a slightly different way. And the way I found out what stretches I needed was by doing a 10-point mobility screen that I learned from my mentor and trainer, John Polly, who is an absolute expert in this stuff. So what happened when I did this mobility screen is I found out that I had 3 areas that specifically needed more stretching than the rest of my body. And that was basically my superficial back line, which is like a hinging motion, my functional front line, which is basically my pectorals, all the muscles that I use for my bench press, and I've probably overworked in the years, so that's tight, bringing me forward a little bit. Also my sidelines, which is the sidelines of our body, which just most people do not stretch ever, especially in common gym routines. So in finding those 3 specific areas that were my weak points, this whittles down the amount of time that I need to spend stretching by a significant amount. This means on a day where I don't have a lot of time to stretch, I know that if I do at least one stretch for these 3 key fascial lines, then I've achieved a good stretch for the day. Now when I have more time, I can do more of a full body stretching routine with a slight emphasis on these 3 lines. So when you find out what stretches exactly work for your body and the ones that you need to be doing, you will be able to stretch your body much more specifically, and therefore wasting less time on doing stretches that aren't so important for you. So this leads me on to my next point, and it's basically I can do these stretches anywhere. For example, the part of my body where I have the least mobility is my superficial back line. So this is basically tight hamstrings, tight back. And the stretch I use for this, I can do absolutely anywhere. I'll quickly show you. So this here is one of the main stretches for the superficial back line. And as you can see, it doesn't use any equipment, and I can do it literally anywhere. So I do. Basically every morning in the kitchen, or whenever I feel like a bit tight, I will just do this stretch. And because I know that that is one of the tightest lines of my body, just doing that for say a minute, I know is doing something really good. I don't have to do a 10-minute full body routine. I can just do that, and I know that I'm getting the adaptation that I need. So the next thing that I do that makes it easy to stretch every single day is actually a little bit technical, and it's the duration of how long I hold my stretches for. Now, if you don't already know, I bang on about it loads on this channel. bang on about it loads on this channel. When you hold a stretch for longer than 2 to 4 seconds, the muscle that you're stretching actually switches off, and this allows it to stretch further. But when a muscle is switched off, you can kind of imagine that that muscle isn't going to have the same strength as it did before you started stretching. So when I stretch in an elastic motion, which basically means I'm stretching to the end range, so I'm getting the full stretch that I want on my muscle, but then I'm coming back straight away from there. And what this does is I still get all the amazing benefits from stretching my muscles, but I don't switch them off. This means I can stretch whenever I want throughout the day when I get a second, and I'm not switching my muscles off. So, for example, in the morning, if you were to do a static stretching classic yoga routine, you might feel a bit lethargic or really relaxed afterwards. And for me, the job that I do, I don't want to be super lethargic and relaxed in the morning. I want to be switched on, and I want to be ready for a workout as well. So by doing this more elastic style stretching, it means it doesn't actually impede anything else in my day. So I can do it at any point, any time, without feeling like it's going to disturb anything. And this also leads on to the point where I've added fascia mobility into my training routine, it actually hasn't made any difference to the performance of my strength training. Whereas when I used to do yoga a lot, it actually made my performance go down, and it really, sometimes doing yoga in the middle of the day actually made my mood go down a little bit in the afternoon, and this just wasn't working for me. And another reason why not holding your stretches is going to make it easier for you to stretch every single day is because it just takes less time. If you just do 10 reps of a 3-dimensional good morning, it might only take 20 to 30 seconds, and you've basically got 10 reps of full range of motion in multiple different directions of your muscles. Whereas if you just held a hamstring stretch, you're not going to get the same quality of stretch in the shorter amount of time. And this is something I've really noticed. The bang for your buck of using these elastic style stretches is far more than holding stretches alone. So the combination of being able to stretch really quickly and also knowing the specific stretches that I need to be doing for my body makes it so easy to stretch every single day. And I have to say, thank you for the new influx of subscribers. It really means a lot, and I really hope I can help you share the knowledge that I know, because it's helped me so much and it's helped lots of my clients. So to be able to spread the word over the internet is really powerful, and I'm really excited. So thank you. Peace out.